Hello, Bio. I'm going to walk you through how to complete your cell energy Gizmos virtual lab. In order for you to complete this lab with ease, you're going to want to open two things. The first thing that you're going to want to open is the cell energy cycle Gizmos. This is what it looks like. I'm going to show you how to get to this. You want to get to Clever. And then you're going to look for the Gizmos app right here. It's a blue icon with a G in the middle. For your class, you should have a list of different labs. I'm just going to go with second. That looks like this. And then you're going to scroll until you see the cell energy cycle lab. Once you click this, you're going to launch your Gizmo. And that's how you open up the cell energy cycle lab. Now on the right-hand side, this is going to be your Canvas dashboard for biology. The second thing that you want to do is you want to open up the actual lab itself as far as the lab document that you're going to turn in. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to modules. You're going to scroll all the way down until you see instructional cycle 1. You're going to find this week's lesson, which is week 7, this heading right here. And then you're going to find your extended coursework cell energy cycle virtual lab. You're going to click that. And then you're going to have some instructions. Now it's going to look a little bit different on your end, so let me go ahead and open it on my end. Make sure that once you open both of these, if you can split your screen just like this, it'll make it easy for you to walk through the lab and do all the steps. Now this lab has 15 questions. However, I'm going to go through about 8 with you. Well, 7. I'll do 7 with you. Okay. Make sure you read these directions. It will actually tell you how to open up everything like I just showed you. The lesson overview while you're doing it. The vocabulary words that you need to know. The Gizmos warm-up. Let's start with number 1. The warm-up questions says to match the substances to their chemical formulas. So what is the chemical formula for oxygen? O2. What is the chemical formula for glucose? C6H12O6. The chemical formula for carbon dioxide is going to be CO2. And the chemical formula for water is going to be H2O. You want to make sure that you know all of your chemical formulas for all of your reactants and products in photosynthesis and cell respiration. Let's move on to number 2. It says for number 2, activity A, photosynthesis, get the Gizmos ready. If necessary, click reset. Reset is right here. Check that the photosynthesis tab is selected. Check that description is turned on. So our photosynthesis tab is selected here, and our show description box is checked. So for the Explorer version, it says to drag each molecule from the molecule's pane, which is right here, to the chloroplast on the photosynthesis pane. If a molecule is an input, it will stay in the chloroplast. So which molecules are inputs in photosynthesis? So you're just going to grab these and put them in the chloroplast. So what are some things that you need in order for your plant to grow? You need to give it plenty of water. And it stayed there, so that's one of the correct answers. And you need to make sure it has plenty of carbon dioxide and sunlight. And you can click Add Light. Now let's say if you pick the wrong answer, what will it do? It will not stay in the chloroplast if it's the wrong answer. So our two inputs are water and carbon dioxide. If you forget what these chemical formulas are, you can look right here to the left. It tells you right above what those chemical formulas are for. And also you can go back. If you feel like you did the warm-up question correctly, you can go back to the warm-up question and check. This is almost like a cheat sheet for you. So make sure that these answers are correct. Let's move on to number 3. Observe, click Add Light, and look at the output. What are the outputs of photosynthesis? So you're going to add your light. And it says that your outputs are O2, which is oxygen, and C6H12O6, which is glucose. So you're going to find oxygen and glucose and click that answer. Now number 4 is going to require you to take a picture. And this is the Take Picture button right here. So let's read our directions. To balance the input-output formula, you need to add coefficients to each molecule. Click Balance to see the balanced chemical formula. Click the camera icon in the upper left or take a snip or a screenshot of your Gizmo and save it as a PDF or JPEG and upload it here. So now you need to balance. So click Balance to see what the balanced chemical formula looks like. And as you can see, just like we said before, there's a lot of 6s when it comes to the chemical equation for photosynthesis. There's 6 molecules of carbon dioxide and there's 6 molecules of water. And it yields or makes 1 molecule of glucose and 6 molecules of oxygen. Once you get this picture, you're going to click, take a screenshot, and then you right-click the image to download. You can also copy it if you want. But you can save it as a JPEG and upload it later. So here's a summary question, number 5. Which is the chemical equation for photosynthesis? Remember that there's 3 things that plants need in order to survive. Sunlight, carbon dioxide, and water. So those are your inputs. And it yields oxygen, 6 molecules of oxygen, and glucose. So using your picture, it will help you answer this question. This is the correct chemical equation for photosynthesis. Let's move down to number 6. Now that's part A, that's photosynthesis. Now you're going to do part B, which is cellular respiration. Get the Gizmo ready, click Reset, click Respiration, and we have a mitochondria here. Question, what are the inputs and outputs of cellular respiration? Predict. Of the molecules shown on the molecule's pane, which do you think are the inputs or the ingredients? And which do you think are the outputs? Drag each molecule from the molecule's pane into the respiration pane, and which molecules are the inputs? Again, you're just going to click. And if it's correct, those 2 molecules will stay there. Now, if it's incorrect, it won't go into the mitochondria. Remember that glucose, the reason why it's outside the mitochondria is because it has to be broken down because it's a very large molecule before it can go inside. Glycolysis. So our 2 inputs are glucose and oxygen. Going to number 7, the last question I'm going to help you with. Observe, click Next, and what happens in the cytoplasm. We're going to click next. And this process is known as glycolysis. That glucose is broken down into 2 pyruvates, and those are small enough to actually get into the mitochondria. So the glucose was broken. I hope that this was helpful. You're going to do numbers 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 on your own. When you are done, you can submit, look at the questions that you got wrong, and then you can always go back and do this over and over again until you get the correct answer. I hope that this was helpful.